Okay, we're live. This is American Hammers TV. We have a special episode today. We've been trying to coordinate this, and so thankful to have. Well, Wayne's my co-host, Wayne from Dallas, but we also have Batman from Crossed Hammers. What's going on, dude?
I'm backwards today for this one.
Yeah, I'm good.
There we go. All right,
Seriously,
there we go.
because I might need fucking safety goggles for this one.
I was going to wear the mask and everything, but I thought, no, they're not ready for that yet.
You know, I was fucking trying to grow my beard out for this one.
Oh shit! All right, so for those who don't know, you do videos on YouTube with for Crossed Hammers. So if you haven't checked out those videos yet, please, if you guys are watching, head on out over after this interview. Obviously, not during the interview. Please go after and check out Crossed Hammers on YouTube and subscribe to their channel and check out those awesome videos. You know, the best thing is there's quite a few. Look at the ones that are most viewed. Those would be a great way to start. Those are probably the most controversial, which, you know, they're still good. But anyway, give us a little bit of history on you, man. So where are you from and how did you get into West Ham?
Well, I'm an Essex boy from Chelmsford in Essex. Was kind of bullied into becoming a West Ham fan by my older brother, to be fair. I mean, I was 8 when we got to the cup final. He went to the cup final. And he come back. I thought every year's going to be like this, being a West Ham fan.
Yeah,
we've won nothing. It's like Lucky Wayne.
Yeah, we've heard that before, actually. Yeah, we've heard a couple other people that it was their first match that they went to, or whatever the case.
Yeah,
or the first match they watched on telly.
Last week he said it was like the first match he went to that West Ham won 8-1, and I nearly pissed my pants laughing.
It's sad, isn't it? You know what I mean? He come back with all his mates. I was on holiday actually at the time with my mum and dad in Great Yarmouth, and they'll come back celebrating. I thought, oh, let's have this. It's obviously going to be like this every year, and here we are, 38 years later, and I ain't seen a trophy yet after the playoff finals.
I know, you know, but those the playoff finals, going back down a championship, man. Those are some of the best seasons, especially as supporters. I mean, the diehards are the ones that stick around, obviously, and watch all the matches and go to the matches, and they are the most fun for a West Ham fan. Obviously, we don't want to be there, but you know, that's when we win the most, it seems.
Never be accused of being a glory hunter, can you, being a West Ham fan? That's for sure.
No.
Oh God, no, definitely not.
No.
I saw my championship in 1980. I was 16 years of age. I thought I was going to see a bunch after that. I figured we won the division. We're bound to win a few more. You know, I've been bloody waiting ever since.
Yeah. Tim, I think we're fraud at some point, shouldn't they? I mean, they just build you up with these hopes early days, and
serious.
They're trying to snatch your dreams away from you.
Yeah. Like our dreams, they fade and die, right? Crash and frickin' burn. Hey, Tim, do you think we should warn the people that Batman here likes to colour his language a little bit? So if there's any kids listening, they maybe should cover their ears or block them up with wax and bananas.
No, I'll try to hold back a little bit.
They need to grow some hair on the chest. They need to listen to this. Yeah, there's no need for a warning. Yeah. So, man, what was so basically when you were growing up? Then who were some of your favorite Hammers growing up?
Growing up, I would say probably David Cross. Used to love Cross. I thought a proper centre forward, getting there, stuck in. Yeah, I mean, there was no messing with him, was there? It didn't matter what defender for him. He was going through him and get that ball, and that was the end of it, wasn't it? Yeah, I mean. And then you probably move on to McAvenny. Everyone loved McAvenny. I mean, I was a teenager then, you know what I mean? And you wanted to be someone, you wanted to be Frank McAvenny, didn't you? You know what I mean?
Seriously.
Everything, living the dream, wouldn't he? And then obviously you get onto the main man, Mr.
DiCanio.
I mean, what can you say? I think that's what kind of missing from today's team. You haven't got a DiCanio, you haven't got a Tevez. And in the past, we've always had a player that even when the team was piss poor and the performances were pathetic, you'd have one little bit of skill in the game. And I thought Anderson might be that player.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I think he needs a bit more time because he hasn't done it regularly enough.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't have the you can see it in his face. Like, he's so monotone. He's not like into it. He's not passionate. There's no passion in him. And that's what we're talking about. So
there was some scared. To me, he's scared of the physicality of the league.
There was some video floating around the other day on social media of the Man U game where Tevez, kept us up, and you could just see, even in that one match, like he just wouldn't let anybody get in his way. Ball, he just kept pushing forward. He had that passion, that fire, which I don't really see that in anybody. I mean, you see glimpses of it with Snoddy, you see glimpses of it with Noble, but not all the time. That's what we're missing.
You don't see it with Yoda.
Go back to Tevez. I mean, that man nearly lost me my job because I was debut. I was off sick from work at the time. I'd been off sick for 6 weeks. And on his debut, I had an Argentina shirt with Tevez on the front of it. I was in the front row of the Trevor Brooking. What does Sky do? The minute he starts warming up, the camera goes straight on me.
Oh, jeez.
I'm lying on Sky. I'm sick for 6 weeks from work. My mate phoned me up. He was in Turkey. He said, I'm in this bar in Turkey. He said, I've just seen you on the telly. I thought, oh, my God, here we go.
Oh, shit, man.
I don't think it fits me anymore, though, funnily enough. But yeah, I mean, Tevez nearly cost me my job.
That's funny, man. That's funny. So like, I don't know, back in the late 90s, I don't know, in the early 2000s, man, there was, even though the team was, still somewhat up and down, there was still those fiery characters, which you just don't see anymore. Yeah. I mean, who do you see on the squad now that would be the closest to that we have?
I'd say for passion, you're probably looking at Noble.
Yeah.
But ability-wise, there's just no one there that really does it for me at the moment.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the saddest things. Because at West Ham, we've always had at least one, possibly 2 players who can turn that bit of skill on. And for me, I just don't think we've got that at the moment. I look at, don't get me started about that yodeling Austrian twat. I'll get on to that later.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll leave that one till later, I think. That fucking yodeling, no good fucking Austrian ponce. But yeah, at the moment, I'd like to think Anderson will be the player with a bit of playing time under his belt next season. I'd like to think Anderson will be that man. I'd like to think that other ponce are being fucking China or somewhere well away from Stratford. But anyway, we'll carry on that one.
Yeah, well, you talk about Anderson. Like, Anderson seems that he's got the flair and the skill somewhat. He doesn't really pass the ball well, but he definitely keeps the ball away from people. I mean, he can hold on to the ball very well and move forward, and he can take the ball as well. But my deal is that I don't feel that he really knew what the hell he was getting himself into joining the Premier League, because the Italian league is not like this. Nothing in Brazil is like this. So the physicality, it was kind of like he got punched for the first time, in the face, like, oh shit, like, and he's been very, I don't know. I can't say when he missed those games it was because he was exhausted. It's just because I don't know. What do you think about Anderson this season overall?
What's that?
What do you think about Anderson this season overall?
See, I mean, I spoke to people who watch a lot of Lazio, or used to watch a lot of Lazio games, and they all said the same thing. You get 1 in 3, 1 in 4 good games out of Anderson. And I think that is pretty much the kind of player he is. I don't think he's ever going to turn it on week in, week out. I think it's only ever going to be 1 in 3 games. And I think you're going to kind of carry him a lot of the time, because when he doesn't perform, he doesn't perform. There's kind of no in between with him, is there? It's not he's had an average game. It's either he's played a blinder or he's been pretty invisible. And I think that's
it's like even the final game of the season, it seemed like when people were like, oh, he's playing really great, it was when they were down to 10 men. Then he plays a blinder because he's got a bit of space and he doesn't feel like he's afraid. To me, it looks like he's playing with a bit of fear out there and he's afraid to go for it because he's going to get bloody hurt out there. That's what it feels like to me.
I think you're right. I think you are right. I don't think he hasn't got that English mentality in him, does he?
No, but
take a tackle.
At the same time, I feel, I've said this before in some of our past shows, that part of his problem is the same as Lanzini, is the same as when Nasri made those few appearances. they're on a different level when it comes down to their skill, their actual like fundamentally their skill. So they need other skilled players around them, not people who are 2 steps or 3 steps, below them in talent wise, because they have to overcompensate, but they're not the type of players that can play well when they have to overcompensate for the schlubs next to them.
Yeah.
If they're on a team full of class players, I think he could settle in if we pick up another class player or two. But again, we'll get into it later. I don't think they're going to have the money for that.
I think you're totally right there, because I mean, he's playing with players that ain't really on his level of reading the game.
Yeah.
So when he does something, Snoddy ain't expecting it. Chicharito probably ain't even interested. The Austrian, don't even get me on the Austrian. I think you've hit the nail on the head. He's a kind of different level player, and we haven't got enough of them in there.
Yeah, and that's also been part of our inconsistency this season, was that the games that we really suffered was the games where there was just too many gaps in talent on the pitch. Like when we fucking start Perez and Obiang, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mixed in with fucking Antonio and so on. I mean, it doesn't match up. Doesn't mesh well. You know what I mean?
It's brutal. When was the last time we had a player that really could go out there and I like a good fucking hard hitting fucking attacking midfielder. Somebody that can go out there and fucking just stick some elbows in, doesn't give a shit about anybody, and just runs over people. That's what I like to see. And when was the last time we had somebody like that? I don't remember the last fucking time.
I can't think of anyone really. I mean, you're talking about a John Moncur style player.
Yeah.
Just go in there, bosh, give it some of that.
Serious.
But can play a bit as well.
Yeah.
That's the key to it. And it's no good just having someone doing a Vinnie Jones, throwing your elbows about, grabbing people.
I don't know, I'd even take one of them. I mean, unfortunately, the Premier League's gone on from that. I mean, that's my era. I mean, I'm 55. I mean, I love those fucking old players that went out there and damaged people. I mean, that's when, for me, that was the match for me.
Yeah, but today you can't get away with that style of player. You look at a player now, you're on a yellow card, aren't you? And I think that's what's missing from the English game, isn't it? Because that was a bit of a leveller for the teams like West Ham in the past.
It was, wasn't it? I mean, it gave us the chance.
Yeah, because we couldn't afford them top-level players or attract them top-level players. We just put someone in there who's going to bust your leg when you go past them. That's the way we do it. You know what I mean? It was a bit of a leveller, wasn't it, for us?
Yep.
So what?
I mean, I still shout it. I mean, I'll still be there in the pub. I mean, looking at it, but I mean, I'm shouting it to I'm shouting at the TV, and I'm shouting it to people like Declan Rice, who's a great kid and everything, but he's not going to break anyone's leg.
No,
but it doesn't happen.
He'll get stuck in though. I mean, you'll see him show a lot of fight and a little effort. I mean, he's just smarter, I guess, about not causing those stupid fouls, but he'll still put his leg in there, man. I've seen that happen a couple of times where he got away with a couple as well. But no, the type of player you're talking about, the John Moncur player, there's not even anybody like that in the Premier League at all. I mean, if you look across the league, who could we possibly get like that? And there's nobody in this league.
No.
At that position anyway.
Yeah. And let's be honest, it was also something to get the crowd going. I mean, we were going about the atmosphere at the London Stadium. I tell you now, the atmosphere in that London Stadium will be rocking. They see Julian Dix running down that wing and throw an elbow in someone's face.
Yeah, definitely.
The place would erupt, wouldn't it? You know what I mean?
It would.
You don't get that anymore. You just don't get it. It's so sanitised, isn't it? Not only sanitised on the pitch, but off the pitch, because you've got a grass slide where if you shout or swear, somebody's texting Brady to get you thrown out. I mean, the game is sanitised.
I can't believe that. That's just absolute bullshit.
Even for standing, you know what I mean? That's fucking retarded. Yeah. So hold on. Let's talk about this for a second. You're talking about Olympic Stadium here. So how many matches have you gone to this year?
Me, I've been to about 5 matches. I've got a season ticket there. I've been to about 5 games.
So what did you think of the atmosphere this season compared to previously, since we've been in the new stadium? Has it improved at all, or I mean, what do you think?
My ticket is in the Trevor Brooking stand. You know what I mean? And I work at a hospital where there's a morgue, and I hear more fucking noise coming out of that fucking morgue than I do that Trevor Brooking stand. I mean, and that is just being totally honest about it. You know what I mean? It's fucking I mean, I mean, you know me, I'm kind of fairly vocal. I mean, people look at me like I'm the Yorkshire fucking Ripper. You know what I mean? Fucking hell. He's off. Get him throw that. I wonder if they know what fucking event they're at, these people. Because they just sit there. The goal goes in and they'll just sit there like, what the fuck's going on here?
So what do you think that has to, how do you think that comes down to? You think that's part of who's sitting there? Is it like a tourist section, or is it like where people can just come up to the game and buy tickets and that's the section they get in? Or you think that the board actually like was able to separate the different
screwed up the board.
groups?
They screwed up with putting people in seats. They fucked up.
You think they did that like on purpose to break things up, the monotony?
No, I wouldn't fucking piss on our board if they were on fire, to be fair. I think it's just modern football for you, to be honest.
Yeah.
The other end, there's a bit of atmosphere down there. But the problem you've got in that stadium, the atmosphere doesn't transfer around the stadium.
Right.
And one end starts singing, and then suddenly it hits a dead spot, and that's it, it's gone.
That's funny. That's what Gio said when he was on our show. Gio from Hammer's was on our show, and he said the same exact thing. He said they'll be singing Bubbles, and in 2 sections over, they'll be off. I mean, it's just there's no continuity, and then it'll just drop off. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
sad.
I mean, I've had. There's been atmospheres in there before, but again, it's very staggered. It's not like it used to be, where the whole ground would be rocking. It's sections of the ground are rocking.
Yeah,
and it just doesn't transfer around. And if you're sat with a load of wankers, which unfortunately I appear to have been sat with a load of wankers, then you're pissing in the fucking wind. You know what I mean? I better move the seat next year, because if any of them are watching this, I'll be less popular than I already fucking am over there.
God. It's funny how you say that, because I mean, that's the one question I asked Gio when I said, you know, when we got people like myself that have never been to the stadium, and I don't want to sit down with a bunch of wankers. I said to everyone, says, what are the areas that are rocking? Because I don't want to fucking get a ticket and sit with a bunch of fucking deadheads that are going to sit there and just like watch like this the whole fucking match. Because I'm going to get my ass kicked out. They'll be texting about the stupid fucking Englishman that sounds like a Yank.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I think,
and I don't know how you're going to solve that over there. I mean, they're talking about bringing them seats forward. They ain't never going to fucking do that.
Why would they do it? Why would they do it?
Right,
it's about this, isn't it?
Yeah,
they've already sold the tickets.
Ticket sales are coming up. You've got more chance of a soapy tit wank off the Queen than fucking Brady moving them fucking people. It ain't fucking happening. And it weren't even her idea originally. When we first, when the protest groups first met with Brady, that was suggested to her, squaring the ends off, bringing them seats forward. And her response to me was, no, we're not doing that. I said, well, hang on, what about the retractable seating we were promised? And her words were, the club are very happy with the seating solution that we've got. Scaffold towers. You know what I mean?
Wow.
You couldn't she said, well, we couldn't do the retractable seating because the firm went bust. So what, there's only one firm in the world that does retractable seating?
Seriously.
Get in the fucking world. You know, mate, I reckon our old man's got a scaffolding firm. That's the only thing I can fucking think of. There's no other club in the world that say that's an acceptable solution, because it's fucking pitiful.
Which is a shame.
It took 3 years. Yeah. We took 3 years to install a fucking carpet. I mean, I mean, fucking hell. I mean, I don't like the Yids. Don't get me started on the Yids. I mean, I ain't fucking popular with them wankers either. But they built a fucking 62,000 seater stadium in the time we installed the fucking carpet. And then we have a party about it. Fucking hell, you couldn't make this shit up. How fucking tin pot is that?
So I guess you didn't pick up any at the club shop after the match, did you?
No, I mean, I don't know. I keep out of the club shop, to be fair.
They were selling the carpet in the shop?
Yeah, they were selling the remnants, yeah.
Yeah, it's got a rug, quid on it, I think. 40 quid for a rug.
Oh my God.
But my point is, so the stadium itself, I mean, we've always wanted to have a larger, seating. You know what I mean? Even at the Bowl Inn, it would have been great if they would have built up, or however they would have done it. I mean, it is nicer to have 60,000, seats. I mean, that is the only bonus to this, really. So let's think about, there are things that they could fix with the stadium. Now, what are your thoughts about, over time? I mean, they probably won't unless we get new ownership or something like that. But my point is, what are your thoughts about outside the stadium, the atmosphere, which we're missing from, Upton Park? Like, what do you think about?
Again, it's dead. That walk to that stadium is just soulless. I mean, that's the only way I can describe it.
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely soulless. I mean, people ain't even, in the old days, people would be singing Bubbles and all that. It's no one does. It's almost like it's a torture making that walk to the stadium.
Yeah.
My mum have a season ticket. She's 75 now. She done one season at the new place and jacked it in just because of that walk. Yeah. Because at the old place, although the walk we had from our car was probably at the same distance, you could stop at a cafe and have a cup of coffee on the way.
Yep.
You could do this and that. I mean, it's none of that now. And for me, mum, like I say, it was just too much for her. She just fucking jacked it in.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't fucking turn it into a big fucking street market on game days.
Yeah, that's be ideal, wouldn't it? I mean, going back to when we met Brady, she spoke about having a fan zone. That's all vanished. Yeah, I mean, that idea seems to have vanished, fucking disappeared. But again, I think we were all very foolish sitting in their meetings with Brady.
It was just to shut you up, really. You know what I mean? Yeah.
They outflanked us, I'll be honest with you. They outflanked us when they moved to the ground. And I mean, I'm going to sit here and admit it now, and it's fucking pained me to fucking admit this. I bought into their bullshit when they moved that fucking ground. And I defended that little fucking Russian hat-wearing shyster fucking porn baron midget Sullivan fucking week after week. And it was only, I tell you, there was a turning fucking point with me and that little shyster fucker. And that was when Cameron Robson and Greg Robson, they put their banner on his gates at his house. And the club took their season tickets away. What? And that was a day for me that it all changed. I thought, hang on, what the fuck is going on here? They haven't gone round and smashed his windows. They've put a flag on his gates at his house. And the club took their season tickets away.
That's
and
bullshit.
For me, that was what started the protest movement. And it all steamrolled from there.
Yeah, so let's talk about that.
Catch up with him.
So let's talk about this. You talk about going into last season, right? I mean, it was, So tell us about that.
Right, like I say, for me, we'd had windows with Sullivan saying, "Oh, we're buying this bloke, we're buying that bloke." Nothing ever happened, and a pattern started to emerge in it. The free transfers coming in, the loan signings, and let's be honest, Bilic in that new stadium, my fucking dog might as well have been managing that fucking team.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
Bilic was fucking clueless. Mm-hmm. And people who stick up for him saying, "Oh, he's Mr. West Ham." When he was a player at West Ham, he fucked off as soon as he fucking could. Let's all remember that, Mr. West Ham. As soon as Everton came calling, he hung on until the end of the season because we've had to pay him a huge fucking bonus to stay on. So all this slaving being Mr. West Ham, never bought into it. And I think he was very lucky his first season because it's our last season at the Bowling. And love him or hate him, he had a defence that had been trained by Allardyce.
Yep.
That done Bilic a lot of fucking favours. Because once he started bringing his own players in with his own ideas, they were fucking clueless. Yeah. Absolutely clueless. Anyway, getting back onto the protest. Like I say, for me, it all started with the banner on Sullivan's gates. Obviously, the Real West Ham fans group was started, 15,000 members, pretty much overnight. I mean, that just showed how pissed off people were with things over there. And then all the groups got together. I think, top of my head, it was 76 groups or something eventually. And that was at the point where Brady, we've got to meet them. Because we were planning the march for March the 10th. I mean, that was all going ahead. And we met with Brady a couple of times. It's where I met Nick, funnily enough. That was the first time I met Nick.
Mm-hmm.
What she did was very clever because I hate the fucking Wicked Witch of the fucking West. You know what I mean? She knows her job. She made us a lot of promises, and mistakenly, we called that march off. And that was our big undoing, I think. I mean, I had the debate with Andy Swallow and Mickey Morgan, and I could see their logic, don't get me wrong. Their logic was, we tried to get into talks with the club have done that, so we'll call the march off. Now, my argument was we had two aims. Get into talks with the club, but give the fans their day.
Mm-hmm.
And the fans wanted their fucking day. And the minute that march was called off, we did so much damage to the fan base at West Ham because it was split.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we're ever going to get that back because there's too much mistrust over there now. We organised a march a few weeks later against Southampton. I think we got 1,500 people there, which weren't a bad little turnout. But I mean, there was a protest group set up, and I'll be up front with you now. There was a meeting set up for the day. I turned up there. Jane Lawrence turned up there. John Tapman turned up there. And no one else from their other groups that said they were going to protest even fucking turned up at that meeting. Wow. So I was sitting there thinking, fuck, have we done a wrong here? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Are we like clowns, like three of us marching against the club? But as luck would have it, when we eventually got to Stratford Station, there's 1,500 of us. And it gave them people their day. We stood outside that fucking corporate entrance, singing our songs, had a laugh with the old Bill. There was no trouble. But see, the problem we had, because at that point we were in a relegation battle, people bottled it. Because they thought, if we protest, you're going to upset the players. Well, my view was, we supported the players all fucking season and they've done fuck all. So what difference?
Seriously, yeah. No, I hear that.
Yeah. But we decided our process would be before the game, outside the ground, so we couldn't be accused of that. We went on, we smashed Southampton, so I mean, there we go, we didn't do too bad out of it. But I mean, that was the problem. One, it's difficult with protesting because you need something like a relegation battle to get the fans riled up for the round. But at the same time, that causes you a problem because a lot of fans don't want to fucking protest because we're in a relegation battle. So you're kind of vicious circle, really. Yeah. But whether them protests had any effect, we'll never know. But like I say, we stood up, we did our bit, what we thought was right at the time. We never know if the big march, how many we would have got. I think we would have got 10,000 people on it.
Yeah.
I think that could have been a game changer. But hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it, at the end of the day? You know what I mean? It's, we are where we are now. But I think the problem you've got with these owners, I don't think letter writing is going to change a fucking thing that they do.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
they're just
speaking of,
they want.
there's a question on the live. So we've got a live chat going on in the YouTube video, and someone's asking, "Hey, did the club ever deliver on any of the promises made to call off the march?"
They delivered on bits and bobs.
Yeah.
There was the making the concourses seem more West Ham friendly, that kind of stuff. It was just bits and bobs that they delivered on. And then we all know the big issue that happened that weekend where everything went a bit fucking mental. Things got in the papers. And from that day, it kind of died because the club would have no involvement with the real West Ham fans group because of what had been in the papers. So then it's kind of died off. And then obviously they set up whatever their supporters fucking group's called. I mean, I've got no time for them after the shit Nick from Crossdammer's got. And I'm like taking off the group. I mean, for me, it's just a bunch of puppets sitting there doing as Brady tells them to do. She'll tell them what she wants done, and they'll sit there.
Yeah, basically, we've heard if you speak your mind in that group, you're basically out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's not right for me.
No.
I mean, my view is that even if, I mean, our group, we had so many fucking rows in the run up to the protest and after the protest. But for me, that's what it's all about. It's all about people's opinions. And as long as at the end of the day they realise I was right, then we've got no issue, have we? But no, seriously, yeah, I mean, it is all about people's opinions and finding that middle ground for everyone. And I don't think you're going to get that in any group that where Brady's handpicked who's going to fucking sit on it, to be fair.
Yeah,
it's going to be off.
Yeah. Just real quick, I want to mention that there's a lot of people in the live chat. I just want to quickly shout out to the people in the live chat, which we usually do on every episode. We got James Quinlan from Knoxville, Tennessee Hammers. We got Paul. We got Ben Davis. We have a guy named Supreme Kermit, or girl, I don't know. I think it was a guy. We got Will Flack, Adam Jessup, and there's somebody else in here too. Oh yeah, West Ham Forever. Now, somebody in here also was asking a question for you. They were saying, oh yeah, so who do you want to see come in next season? Out of all the bullshit that we've been hearing from all these stupid like Mitroviches and Maxi Gomez's and all these relegated pieces of shit, what do you want?
It's all dependent on budget, isn't it? That's the problem. That is the problem. It all comes down to what money we've got available. I've heard people going on about this Gomez. I don't know enough about the fucking bloke, to be honest. The problem is, if you've only got 25 million to spend, you're signing us free. Let's be honest. You ain't getting that.
Yeah.
That's not enough for me. I'm fucking brilliant. I want at least 30 for me.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And they go on about, we'll get 50 million for Arnie. We ain't getting 50 million for Arnie. There ain't a fucking hope in hell of getting 50 million for Arnie. We'll be lucky to get our money back on that fucker there. Because everyone's saying what he's like. He's a tosser. Fucking tosser, the bloke. But I've seen it over the last couple of days. Everyone's now bigging him up again because he's actually put his fucking boots on for a couple of games and a bit of effort. Oh, we got to keep him. We got to keep him. My issue with that, if you keep him, he has a good first few games of the season. January, we'll know what's happening. Exactly the same fucking bullshit again. Just get rid of the bloke now. He had his chance. He pissed up all our fucking backs. I don't buy into all this shit about, oh, it's all down to his brother. He's a fucking adult. That original statement was not released without that yodeling fucking no good fucking Austrian ponce knowing exactly what was in that fucking statement. I don't believe a word of it. The bloke, he's going to shit on you, isn't he, at one point? You know what I mean? I don't think he's a world-class striker anyway.
He already shit on Stoke, didn't he? He shit on Stoke. He shit on us once. We let him shit on us twice.
He's a winger. He's not a striker. He was developed as a winger. He played as a winger on many teams. That's where he was good. As a winger, and he came here as a winger, and then fuckface decided to switch him over to a striker and get his hopes up, and now he thinks he's Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and he's got the same attitude. You know what I mean? He's not. He's not.
And at the end of the day, he just ain't as good as he likes to think he is. And I mean,
look, he's a good. I mean, he's a good winger. He's a good winger, but he's not world class by any means. You know, I'll give him that much. He's
not a 50 million player.
Oh no, not at all.
We need two good strikers.
Yeah.
And I don't think with the budget that we're going to be given, you're going to get two good strikers. You might get a good striker and another wanker. I mean, that's the level.
Yeah, I know. But do you think like Yarmolenko will be? I mean, if he's healthy, you think he could make a good forward?
I think he can do a job. But again, he ain't a 20-goal man, is he? That's the problem. That's what we need.
Mm-hmm.
We need
that's true.
The season, man. And for us, they just ain't out there, are they? That's the problem.
They are. And if they are, they don't want to fucking come to us.
That's the thing. I was just going to say that. So basically, we're not a European club. You know what I mean? We're not in any European competition, so there's no attraction from people overseas because nobody in the Premier League wants to play for us, and everybody else overseas, they're not going to want to come to a team unless they can't speak the language and don't understand that we're not playing in those competitions. But no, the point is that we need, in order to get a 20-goal striker, we need to have a striker that we can give service to and give him the ball. and then he can score 20 goals, and we're like, holy shit, this guy scored 20 goals. Not someone who religiously scores that many, because they're not going to come to West Ham. You know,
I think that's another problem we seem to have in it. We don't take a gamble on any up and coming players. I mean, and I fucking detest Spurs with a fucking passion. I fucking despise them cunts, but they do it the right fucking way. They buy players when they're young and promising and bring them through. And we don't do that. We'll go out and buy another wanker who should have been good but has never really fucking achieved, like Perez. I mean, what the fuck was all that about? He was shit at Arsenal. The only reason we bought him was they bought him for 17 million and we could get him for 4 million.
Yeah.
So in the Shysters books, we've had a result. Yeah, but there's a reason the price has dropped to 4 million. He's shit, David, you fucking waster. That's the problem. Yeah, I mean, it's just panic buy, wasn't it? Last day of the season.
Yeah.
I need a couple more players. Sanchez, fucking Perez. Well, that's going to set the world alight, isn't it? Fucking hell.
Sanchez, I'm still pissed off about Sanchez because there was no reason why he deserved to get signed by West Ham. Because what? Because of international competition? Well, international competition doesn't translate.
One good game, didn't he?
It doesn't translate.
One good game, we got a good fucking medical deal out of it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But he was on fucking Aston Villa. I mean, why the? And he didn't even do anything there.
Exactly. I mean, that's what. I mean, we've got this director of football now. What's his name? I ain't even going to try and pronounce.
What is he being paid for?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? At what point has he sat down with Pellegrini and Sullivan and gone, right, I've looked at all the players available worldwide. I'll tell you who we need. Sanchez. You know the bloke who was shit at Villa? He's the man who's got that fucking problem. You know what I mean? And someone has written out a fucking check and gone, yeah, we'll have some of that. What the fuck? Yeah, I mean.
I don't know, and there's still a lot of West Ham fans that are still thinking that he's going to come back and they're like, oh, don't sell him. We could use him. Now he's healthy and he'll be fine. Fine for what?
Back as he was before.
I know. So who else is that besides the obvious, the Yodeler and the fucking, what is it? The Chicharito with his orange hair and everything else.
Oh, fucking Chicharito.
So who else do we need? In Perez, obviously. Who else do we need to sell? Who else could we not only like who else do we need to sell, but players that you might want to keep, but time's running out to get money off them. So
see, this is where we've got a problem, isn't it? Because to generate, if the figures we're hearing are right, to generate any decent money, we've got to get rid of the shit out of the fucking squad. The big part players, the Obiangs, the Bonners, people like that. But the problem is, if you use all that money to fund 2 strikers coming in, you still need to replace those positions that you've let players go from. It's not as simple as, right, we could sell £60 million worth of players, spend it all on 2 strikers, because our squad's so thin, we still need to replace the players we've let go. Otherwise, we're going to be drafted.
That said, do you think that maybe some of the loaned players that we had out, or some of the youth that never got the chance this season, do you think any of them can fill those gaps? Like a Holland, like a Cullen, like a Fernandez, like a Marcus Brown, these type of players. Do you think any of them, or a Ben Johnson or someone like that, you think that they can fill some of those gaps? They got to be half better than these fucking idiots that we already have in there, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they can fill some of the gaps. But I think you've got to be careful, not become too reliant on the young players, put too much pressure on them. Realistically, you only can really bring one through a season, can't you? Let's be totally honest about it.
Yeah, you're right. Totally.
Yeah. Otherwise,
they picked the wrong one. They picked the wrong one this year. They picked Ben Johnson. He fucking got hurt. But Grady Diangana, I mean, he's nothing special. I mean, what did he do that was so special?
Yeah, that's what I can't. It just seems strange, doesn't it? I mean, and we'll go on about, bring the homegrown players through, blah, blah, blah. If you look at the homegrown players we've let go in the last few seasons, there's a reason we've let them go. And most of them are shit. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
They've gone to smaller clubs and none of them have really done anything.
No.
And I think it's going to take a lot of time before we get back to bring him through the real class. You know what I mean? We've got some decent ones coming through, but not everyone's going to be a Declan Rice. And I think that's the reality of it, isn't it?
Well, he's a rarity. He's a rare kid.
Yeah,
I mean, he came through with the right
side.
attitude and with a bit of talent. So
It's a
I mean, that's
generation.
something you don't find a lot.
Yeah,
I
so
think that's a problem now, though, isn't it? Because now that he's come through for our youth team, I think a lot of fans sit there expecting the next youth player that comes through will be as good as him. And in reality, they're probably not going to be as good as him.
They're not.
And I think it kind of fills your expectations up, doesn't it? I think that can be a concern.
So what do you think about some
because the pressure is straight away on them players?
You're right. You're right. But what do you think about some of the guys that were out on loan then? Like not just the youth players. Like so, we have Byram. We have what's the other one? Hugel and what was the other one? Those Cullen and stuff. What do you think
still
about
alive?
them? I don't know. I heard he's in Tenerife with David Moyes' stepbrother or something like that. Yeah.
With the likes of Byram, Hugel, people like that, let's just have a bring and buy sale and get rid of the fucking lot of them.
Yeah.
Swap them for a couple of fucking watering cans or something.
Yeah.
Because no disrespect to Hugel, why did we ever buy him?
That was a panic, wasn't it?
Chip striker, wasn't it? Yeah, I mean, so
yeah.
Sullivan was trying to shut the fans up. I'll go out and buy him. Well, that worked well, Dave, didn't it? You might as well have just set light to 9 million quid in your garden because that's what you've done.
I think it has something to do with we have this, not we, the border, whoever's in charge of these transfers, they tend to gravitate, or even some of the fans too. They'll say, you know what, this guy scored a lot of goals on a shit team, so he's carrying the team. He's got to be good. But that's why I don't want Mitrovic. That's why the fuck are we taking the top scorer from Preston North End? They're fucking nobody. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I think he'd only scored about 6 or 7 goals that season. So he hasn't exactly done a fucking great deal anyway. It's not like he come in and he scored 30 goals for him or really ripping the league apart. He was fucking bag average. You know what I mean? There was defenders with more goals than him in that league.
Well, here's a question for you then, because we talk about, we all know, we all fucking hate Tottenham, right? Yeah. But the one thing we can agree on is they know how to work the business.
Exactly.
Okay? Now, they had Bale. They sold him for a fucking shitload of money, and they used that money and they invested in young, good fucking players.
Yeah.
Do we do the same thing with Declan Rice?
Well, we're not going to get as much money, but for certain, and he's definitely not a Gareth Bale. Like, honestly,
he's not a Gareth Bale, but I mean,
no. How much money do you think we could get for him, though? Let's start with that. $50
million for him.
That's not.
If Man City came in for him and Man City wanted him, you could probably squeeze 40, 45 million out of them because it's Man City.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone else is going to pay that kind of money for him. Not at the moment. No. Perhaps in a year's time, I will.
He still has a little more.
Because that gives you some money, then you can invest in those players so you can get rid of the Obiangs and get rid of the fucking dead weight.
My concern is with that is that we'll invest it in a load of wankers again, won't we? We won't do the job properly. What we'll try and do is sell Declan Rice for 45 million, invest 5 million on a load of wanker players, and 40 million will vanish into the fucking big pocket that is David Sullivan's. Yeah,
that's why I hope that they wait. I mean, I hope that West Ham waits until after Sullivan and all those fucking idiots are long gone before we decide to ever sell him.
Yeah.
I would, like you said, I would not trust them with that money in their hands.
I don't think David Sullivan will ever sell that club unless silly money comes in for it.
Yeah.
I don't think he will. I think David Sullivan, I just don't see him doing it. I think that will be handed down to his kids. I think that's the way it's going. I mean, I feel quite sorry for David Gold because I believe David Gold came into this with the best of intentions for West Ham Football Club. Mm-hmm. But slowly but surely, he's been fucking sidelined by the fucking porn baron, Russian hat-wearing fucking midget fucking pont that is fucking Dagenham fucking Dave, you know what I mean? And he's slowly been sidelined. Now that Sullivan's got the controlling interest, it doesn't matter what Gold fucking says.
You don't even hear fucking Gold say anything anymore, do you?
No.
He doesn't say anything anymore.
just a few compliments here and there to the players and stuff like that. It was really all he said.
Yeah, it's almost like you're fucking wheeling your fucking dementia-ridden fucking granddad out now. When your old granddad out for a fucking press
Let's
fight.
put him out. Let's put him out there and have him shake Bond's hand, and then fucking wheel him back off.
Like I say, I like David Gold. Don't get me wrong, but I think they're just mugging him off now. I think it is a case of you go out there and do that, Dave. I'll sit here, count me fucking money with Karen. You know what I mean? She runs the club. Karen Brady runs that football club. Sullivan might be in charge of transfers, but day to day, that club is run by Brady. And Sullivan will let her do what she wants to fucking do.
I hate the woman.
Really.
We talked about this before. We seem, my regular co-host Lee and I, we mentioned that we feel that when they brought her in back in Birmingham, they pretty much signed her on as to be like the face, the mouthpiece, because at that time she was younger, obviously, and they figured, okay, let's get a hot, attractive woman to be the mouthpiece. But they seem to forget. Maybe it's just the older they're getting, the more senile they're getting. They still feel that she's that attractive, good-looking woman that everybody will listen to.
Do you think she took it up the Jaxie to get the job? Is that what you're saying? Is that what it is? Did Brady take it up the Jackson to get the job? And was it Sullivan that did it? Did he have to stand on an orange box to do it? That's what I want to know.
Sullivan could wear that like a hat. You know what I
mean? That's probably why he wears that. It reminds him of that time that he did it. Maybe wear the Brady Bush hat.
No, it just goes to show how senile they are. That's what my point was. I really feel that they need to move on. They're not going to move on anytime soon. And like you said, unless the big money comes in. But if the big money comes in, it's only going to come from someone like a Russian oligarch or a Qatari oil baron or something like that. Which that could. I mean, basically, what I'm getting at is, do you feel that you'd be happy if we ended up becoming another Man City, you know what I mean, or a Chelsea? I mean, with that type of money, don't you feel that the atmosphere of the club would change? If we're just buying championships and trophies and stuff like that.
I think
double-edged sword.
Anyway, it's not the club that we knew. You know what I mean? It's not that club anymore. So we're being run like a corporation there. We might as well be run like a fucking successful corporation like Apple rather than Atari, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You look at it that way, yeah, I agree.
I mean, we got bought out by a banker when the old Icelandics come in. The world banking system crashes. It can only happen to us, you know what I mean?
Yep.
We get bought out by an oil billionaire. You know what's going to happen? Oil's
going to invent running cars on fucking water.
Oil in this fucking world, and he will go bust.
Yeah. I mean? Well, Trump's going to send 120,000 troops to Iran anyway. He's going to blow up the Middle East, so we're probably going to get sold to a fucking Middle Eastern.
But I mean, that's the thing. I mean, we run like a corporation there, so we might as well run like a successful corporation rather than run like a fucking market stall like we currently fucking are. You know what I mean? I think the Man City thing. I think that only happens to one club in a lifetime, you know what I mean, in one league. I don't think anyone, I mean, Paris Saint-Germain have got it. You have that in one league, didn't you? Because they don't want to battle with each other. They want to come in and know they're going to be number one. Well, you ain't going to come into the Premier League and try and battle with Man City to be number one, are you?
No.
You go to another league where you can just buy it straight away.
Well, another fan question popped in from Ben. He asked, can you ask Wayne what he thinks of the stewarding?
Well, fucking hell. I'll tell you a little story here, funny enough, right? My mate, I mean, this was the first season there. My mate's daughter got thrown out. Had a row with a steward. Then I had a row with every steward on my way out. We're walking, now my mate, he's 60 odd, and we've got his daughter with us. She's 30, I think. We're walking around the outside of the ground, and this is no word of a lie, 15 stewards started following us. So I said to my mate, I said, look, they're going to fucking grab you in a minute here, or they're going to grab you. All of a sudden, this bloke fucking appeared from nowhere, and he looked like fucking Hulk Hogan. I'll tell you, he was fucking massive. He's gone up behind me, mate. He was in his 60s, got him round the throat like that. I mean, that is assured him. So I clumped him on the side of the head. Obviously, I deny that in court, but that's the problem over there. But it's just so heavy-handed. And the problem you've got with this grass line is, I contacted the Football Supporters Federation about it, because I can be sensible at times. And my argument was, how can they throw you out without any evidence other than an anonymous text? And the reply from the Football Supporters Federation was, because it's private property, they decide the rules. They don't need any proof to throw you out. That text is enough to get you thrown out of the ground. And I think that's wrong. Because I could sit there, send text saying that David Sullivan just called me a cunt. Technically, that midget should be thrown out the fucking ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what? That would make a great protest. You should have everybody that you know in the fucking stadium send in those texts saying that you fucking called everybody a cunt.
I mean, I've tried it with irony, to be fair. I mean, I've told him that he's a lazy, no good fucking Austrian cunt and he should be thrown out. It ain't worked so far. But no, the stewarding in there is ridiculous. Because they're not football stewards. That's the problem. They're event stewards. They don't know how to deal with a football crowd. And because they've got it in black and white, that's the rules. They're the rules they're going to adhere to. And there's no leeway on it. And they're just so mob-handed when they come in there. The old ground, they would have got kicked all over the fucking place. Yeah. They're lucky the fans that are over there at the moment just kind of sit back and let it happen. But in the old days, it wouldn't have happened because they'd have got a fucking right-hander. I don't know how you change it. Can't see how you're going to change it. Because it's private land, they do what they want to do.
Hey, another thing before we go to, we have about 10 minutes left. I just want to let's talk a little bit about Crosshammers and your involvement with that. So, how did that all get started with you and Nick?
Right. Well, me and Nick, first time I met Nick, funny enough, was when we met Karen Brady. That's how I first met Nick. And then when the march was called off, the main march, that's when I really got to know Nick. And then I did a video which upset our Tottenham supporting friends a little bit, to be fair. At last count,
I saw that.
Yeah, we're 301,000 views at the moment.
Yep.
They're quite upset about it, to be fair. It was about their spending in the summer. I mean, I had death threats. They threatened to kill me kids and everything. But they're not bothered about us, as they keep telling us, you know what I mean? And from that, Nick asked me just to do a weekly video, and that's kind of where it come from, just doing that, you know what I mean? It's been a laugh, I've got to say. I've upset a few people. My view with it is, with the protesting was the same. If people don't want to protest, that's fine. That's their choice. Everyone makes a choice. If you want to watch videos, don't want to watch videos, I don't give a flying fuck. I'll insult the players, but I won't ever insult another fan. Because it's about opinions. I mean, I think on one of your things the other day, Tim, someone called me a prick or something. The bloke's a complete prick. I thought, yeah, I love you too. I mean, it's all about opinions. And the one thing that I hate, bugbear of mine, is when you have a different opinion to someone and they say, go and support another club then. No one has got the right to tell someone to fuck off and support another club just because of a different opinion. If you can't debate it, shut the fuck up, mate. You know what I mean? You don't have to insult people. And you certainly don't tell them to go support another club because it's fucking wrong. That's my little bit there.
I wish people would listen to that. It's funny, you know, because over in the States, we have a lot of people that there's a lot of snobbery, snobbery from English people over here that tend to think just because they're English that they can talk down to a lot of the American supporters, and I don't fucking like it. I don't fucking like it, and I don't believe in it. And I've heard American supporters say, you know, oh, you've got a lot to learn about being West Ham. You should go fucking support Spurs. I don't fucking like that at all. It's bullshit. We're all entitled to our own opinion, and it doesn't matter how they fucking became a West Ham supporter. They're a West Ham supporter.
Yeah, spot on. I totally agree with that. Like I say, mean, with the protest, we got dogs abuse of fucking people. But it's people's choice, isn't it? You know what I mean? You don't want to protest, that's fine. But I cared enough to believe that that was the right thing to do. And as long as I believe what I'm doing is the right thing to do, I'm going to do it. And I won't slag people off who don't agree with me. That's their choice.
Yep.
Obviously, rather they all came along, happy days. But people don't want to, don't want to. And that's the problem we've now got. So many people have fallen out over this. It's unbelievable. A lot of friendships were ruined over their march being cancelled.
Yeah.
Because you had sitting on different sides of the fence, which is a shame. Hopefully over time they'll get rebuilt. I mean, there was some funny things in the run up to the marches. I mean, myself and Mickey Morgan, we became quite regular on Talk Sport on Jim White's show on the phone-in thing. And there was one particular day, Mickey phoned him up and Mickey's proper fucking laying into him. So fucking first thing Jim White does, cuts him off, doesn't he? Unfortunately for Jim White, the next call in was me. So I carried on with the same tirade that Mickey had been giving him. You know what I mean? So he got him double barreled again. I did actually call Sullivan a shyster on that one, and the fuckers cut it out. I called him a little shyster, and because of that time delay, they cut it out. I was fucking heartbroken. You know what I mean?
Oh shit, man. So yeah, man. So I don't know, man. I went to a couple of games last season. I went to the last two of last season. I didn't get to go over this year. I'm fucking pissed about that. But no, I got to go to Carton Horses. I went to the Carpenter's Arms, and I got to some of the pubs. The atmosphere was fantastic. It really was. Queen's Head and everything else, and it's just like you said, man. It's not. I mean, not just the walk. I mean, yeah. So you got the boats. The boats got a good atmosphere. You got the supporters club. They have their own atmosphere. It's just they're so spread out. Everything is just so fucking spread out. They need to finish developing that area. They really do. And I feel that
I think a lot of it now is people view it more as a social occasion, the before and after the game.
Mm-hmm.
Game is just kind of, well, there's a game going on as well. I think a lot of people now, because the excitement ain't there for that 90 minutes, the excitement is the bit before the game in the Boozer and the bit after the game in the Boozer. Whereas it used to be, if it was a good game, you'd have a good night in the Boozer. I think the Boozer has kind of become, because it's so shit over there, is the day out now. It's getting on the piss with the lads and having a crack.
Yeah, that's the thing is that the reason why I brought that up, because we're about to finish the episode, but I feel that we do need to get new ownership, because clearly they don't have any ambition to fix what needs to be fixed with the fans. They don't have any ambition to having those, what Wayne was talking about earlier about the different tents and shops.
I think it needs a fucking proper old East End market. I think
the markets,
like get it organised. Have fucking
they're not going to do it.
Stalls. I'll go down there with me auntie Katie. We'll fucking start selling underwear like we used to down the car.
There's got to be somebody out there with a shit ton of money that can come in and say, you know what, I see what needs to be fixed. Let's fix that. Let's also, the stadium is very fixable, by the way. I mean, you know that because you thought about it. We've all thought about it. What can be done? It's just the assholes that are in charge are not going to do anything about it right now.
Not going to do
so if we get somebody in, exactly. But if we get somebody else that comes in and buys a fucking club and says, you know what, I can fix this, fix that, we can get the atmosphere, because it's a shell of what could be. I mean, that stadium has potential.
Yeah. See, the problem we've got is all that land around the stadium is owned by the mayor. That is the mayor's land. The mayor and Newham councils. So anything like the market and that has to be agreed by the mayor. And because they're in a kind of standoff with him now, he ain't going to okay anything if he can fucking help it.
Because
he's a fucking nightmare.
That's it. You get some rich fucking Iron Sheik come in here and toss him the money. I mean,
that is the problem you've got.
Yeah.
They've been because we've tried to be tight-fisted fuckers. Surprisingly, we've aggravated him. So now he ain't in the mood to do any favours for us. I think the only solution is that they go fucking the stadium goes bust, buy it, and the land around it. Whether buying that stadium would buy that land as well, I don't know.
Well, on
Would
that
they
note,
come to that land?
Paul says, Paul in the chat room here says, just be happy with the carpet. Oh man. So before we go, I just want to say thank you guys to everybody who popped in and watched this live. If you're watching the replay, thank you. Maybe subscribe to our channel and get notifications. So next time you can pop in when we do a live show, you hop in the chat room. As you can see here in the chat room, we have a ton of people yapping back and forth, which is awesome. I love to see this. So thank you, all you guys who popped in the chat room. I forgot to mention my sponsor at the beginning of the show. It's Strava Craft Coffee. They're out of Denver, Colorado. They make all sorts of premium craft coffee, but my favorite is the stuff that has CBD oil infused into it, which is really good stuff. There's a 15% off coupon in the description below, so you just type out Hammers15 at checkout, and you should save 15% until June 30th. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank Wayne from Dallas Hammers for joining me in this episode, since because we couldn't make it.
I like my coffee with Jameson's whiskey. Jameson's. Very
how
nice
that?
whiskey.
Where did you get that cup again? Where that cup come from?
From Drinkware Design. Drinkware Design.
Oh.
Check it out. www.drinkwaredesign.com. They do a nice job. Very nice mugs. There you go. Look, it's got my local supporters group on it. Flogging stuff. There you go. Got a nice, lovely mug here. Come on, see, I could set up a nice mug stall right outside the stadium there.
There you go.
That is something that we don't want to talk about.
And,
there we go.
and Batman, you have any sponsors there, Batman? You want to?
Crossed Hammers, you know what I mean? If you ever want to see me on a Tuesday, Crossed Hammers is the place to see it. And thanks for having me on here, lads.
Thank you so much. It was
a pleasure, mate.
It was a pleasure, man. We'll have you back on again.
If you ever need a Robin.
Really. Yeah. I'll let you know, son. I was looking for a female one, to be fair. You know what I mean?
I'm ready.
Awesome.
I'm ready.
All right, I'll talk to you off the air in just 1 minute. But yeah, all right, come on, you Irons.
Come on, you